So we start, and I start sharing this screen, and it should be like you can see the application, and you should see it full screen. Can you see it full screen?
No, ma'am.
So now let us just change something. Now you can see, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, today we are working with Unit 9 of the book, which is working in psychiatry. So it seems to me just interesting. And first of all, we need to discuss what we've done previously. I mean that this is the video task which was made by most of the students, but some students just ignored for the second time the video. I don't know why. So just you have some time to change the situation. As for the videos which I had the pleasure to watch, so I would like to say thank you for your sincere stories about your personal experience that made you wish to become a doctor. A lot of interesting stories there, very touching and inspiring. So the students talk about pros and cons of their medical profession. Doctors, they say that doctors save people's life and they are very respected and can be compared to God. And I learned that there is the saying in India that it says doctors are second to God, right? So it's news for me. I'm just happy just to know, to get something new. And so students say that people trust doctors. They have huge gratitude to doctors. And on the other hand, some doctors work illegally with organ transplantation, and this is the dark side of the job. And so there was such an idea in some stories. And I hope that this video task has helped you to reflect on why you want to be a doctor and the mission, reflect about the mission of the profession in society. And there are some citations from your stories, from your videos, like you say, everything you are doing, do it with all your heart. So I like this phrase very much. And as I said, doctors are another form of God, so compared to God. So, and it's the best profession to serve people. Well, it was a pleasure just watching these videos and just to see you in person, because I saw some of the students for the first time, like the faces of the students. As for the second task, which was to complete the sentences, conditional sentences. There were the two types: the first conditional, which is the real conditional clause, and the second conditional, hypothetical situations. It was a kind of disappointment for me, because just there were a lot of mistakes, and a lot of students had just poor score in this task. That is why just I would like to focus on these sentences. So here are the sentences as they were, as I saw them in the students' papers. And you see that there are some mistakes in these sentences. Something is wrong in the sentences. Let us analyze them. If we speak about the first sentence, if it is where appendicitis, Charlie's pain would be on the right side. And you see that we need to understand whether it's a real condition, which is first conditional, or it's hypothetical, condition. In this case, we need to use the second conditional clause. So, is it real or hypothetical?
It's hypothetical.
Hypothetical. That is why we need to use were in the if clause if it were appendicitis, right? The past simple. And in the main clause, we use would be, would plus infinitive of the verb. So everything is okay here in this sentence. If we move to the next sentence, if the rash will go away, we'll send him to a specialist. So this phrase will go away is wrong. And so the situation here is, the condition in this sentence is real. That is why we need to use the first conditional structure. So, and in the first conditional, the rule says that we do not use the future after if. So we can't say if will. We should use the present simple. Instead of will go away, will not go away, what should we use in the present simple form? In the present simple, what is the auxiliary to make the negative statement in the present simple? The auxiliary verb is do or does, right? So if the rash doesn't
Doesn't
go away, we will send him to a specialist. So you see that in the main clause, will send shows that this is the first conditional and this is a real condition. In number 3, so if it becomes something sinister, the headache would probably be constant. So here we say, is it real or hypothetical? So in the main clause.
Third one is hypothetical.
Exactly, yes. The headache would probably. So we imagine the situation. And so actually instead of become, there was the verb to be. And what should be the form of the verb to be in the if clause? If it
were to be.
Were something. Were, the past simple should be used. Okay, as for number 4, if your father gets any worse, we will probably admit him. So everything is okay. In the if clause, we have gets. This is the present simple, and will probably admit future. This is the real condition. Number 5, if I did the operation again, I would take greater care. So this is real or hypothetical?
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical, yes, because I don't need to do the operation again, and so that is why we use the past simple in after if, did, and in the main clause would take. Number 6, if it were meningitis, your child probably wouldn't be so lively. So this is also hypothetical. We use the past simple were and wouldn't be in the main clause. Number 7, if I set the exam again, I will prepare myself better. Is it real or hypothetical?
Real.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical. Yes, because normally you are given only one attempt, one chance to sit the exam, right? So that is why it's hypothetical. That is why we use set, the past simple. And instead of will prepare, we need to use
They would prepare.
I would prepare myself. Number 8, if your mother needs any medication, we would give it to her, but fortunately he doesn't need any medication. That is why this is the hypothetical situation. And this structure would give shows us that this is unreal, imaginary situation. That is why this is second conditional, and we need to use past simple. The past simple of need is if your mother
Needed
any medication.
Uh-huh. Okay, number 9, if your child will be very dehydrated, you need to bring him into any. So here we never use future tense after if. And some of the students just made this typical mistake because we speak about future situation, but instead of will be, we need to use present simple, right? Present simple. If your child is very dehydrated, you need to bring him into A and D. And here in the main clause, there is need, not in the future, but in the present, which is also possible. And the last sentence, if your child stays in the hospital, we will keep a close eye on him. So this is also a real situation about future, but we don't use future after if, we use stays, present simple. And will keep is used in the future form. So they're just correct versions are given here on this slide. So when I upload with just the presentation and you feel that you still don't understand how to use the tenses in such sentences, please try to analyze the sentences one more time just to figure out the rules and how these structures are used. And yes, that is all about the home assignment. And now let's get started speaking about working in psychiatry. And I would like you to have a look at these portraits of the people. I hope you know them. And they are famous psychiatrists. And the task here to match the pictures with the descriptions. And this is about their what they've done for psychiatry. And the first phrase says just who introduced cognitive behavioral therapy out of these 4 people. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay. Maybe we can guess. Number 3 says, who was the first to use the term psychiatry?
I think A.
Yes, this is real. Yes, because this looks like the earliest. Yes, and he was the first to introduce this term. Okay. I guess you know something about Freud, Sigmund Freud. What was his just impact into psychiatry?
Structural model of the mind.
Exactly. Yes, he described his structural model of the mind. And so there are 2 more people. What were their roles? So actually, the person who introduced cognitive behavioral therapy was Beck. So, and you can see that Cade introduced lithium for treatment of mania. So these were just some important stages in the development of psychiatry. And if we think about the history of medicine, is it important to be aware of the history in general and psychiatry in particular? What do you think?
Yes, ma'am. I think it is important
Why?
because if we don't know the history and the origin, then we cannot find how it started, who was the first person to bring this field, and why, for what purpose.
But do we need to know about the history just in everyday practice, or does it help? How can it help?
No, we don't need, because we already have, or we just need to know the basics.
And this helps. Knowing the history helps to know some basic things, right?
Yeah, but history is important for extra knowledge. Some people are curious. Why should we use this, or what is the important? So if we tell them about the history, then they get like, okay.
So thank you. Any more ideas? So just history is important in terms of how people are curious about this, but it doesn't help, right? This is the idea. Okay, so I see. Thank you. Well, and if we speak about psychiatry, so doctors who work in psychiatry, they need to be observant of the patient's appearance, behavior, and manner, because this will help in their diagnosis, as you see. And so to understand, to describe the appearance, behavior, and manner of people, we need just to revise some, just to focus on some words that describe behavior and appearance of people. Here we can see several nouns and their definitions, and our task is to match the nouns and definitions. For example, if we have a look at the first one, which is aggressiveness. So this is, will fight, argue using forceful methods. Okay. What about restlessness?
Continuous movement.
Exactly. So when a person
Inability to okay.
Sorry? Yes, Nikita?
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay. So this is restlessness. What about withdrawal?
Moving away, not wanting to communicate.
Yes, not wanting to communicate. You are right. And distraction.
Inability to
Concentrate.
Okay. Flamboyance. What is it?
Elaborate or colorful behavior.
Exactly. Yes. Anxiety.
A feeling of
worry and nervousness.
And carelessness.
Being not accurate.
Not caring.
Not caring. You're right. Okay. So now we just understand the meaning of these nouns. And if we move to the next slide, you can see the same nouns, and we need here to write the corresponding adjective next to each noun. For example, if we say aggressiveness is a noun, what is the corresponding adjective to this?
Aggressive.
Behavior.
Aggressive, yes. So if we speak about behavior, we say this is aggressive. I would like you to write down all these nouns and write these right adjectives next to each noun. Just 2 minutes for you to do this. Okay, let us check what we've done. Is Pradeep here? No. Rohita,
Yes, ma'am.
so please read the pairs of words, all of them.
First one, aggressiveness, ma'am. Second one, restlessness. Third one, withdrawal. Fourth one, distraction. Fifth one, flamboyance. And sixth one, anxiety. Seventh one, carelessness.
What about the adjectives?
Aggressiveness is aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Restless means rest.
Restless. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then
Withdrawal means withdrawn.
withdrawn. Yes, withdrawn behavior, for example. Okay. What about distraction? What is the adjective?
Distraction means
Who can help us?
distracted.
Distracted. Distracted, exactly. Then flamboyance, and the adjective is
Flamboyant.
flamboyant. Mm-hmm. Anxiety,
Anxious.
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 and the last one, carelessness.
Careless.
Careless.
Careless. Thank you. Okay. Here they are. Mm-hmm. And we'll need them just to complete the one of the following exercise. Yes, and there is just a cartoon about distraction, weapons of mass distraction, social media that we use, just YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. And yes, here it is, the exercise. We need to read some cases about some people, about their conditions, behavior, and we need to describe their behavior with using one of the adjectives that we have written. So, for example, if we speak about John, John was about his appearance, was shabbily
Anxious.
dressed, and his hair wasn't combed. So he was
Careless.
careless
Careless.
about his appearance. Yes, he was careless about his appearance. So please look at the other sentences and just think which adjective can better describe the condition of each of the patients. So just write the adjectives. Also, just 3 minutes to you to do this. Well, let us share what we've written. So please, Bhuvanesh, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Bhuvanesh? So please, the second situation, the second condition, read it, please.
Yes, ma'am. Jane was dash. She barely said a word when she spoke. She did not look at me.
Mhm.
Jane was anxious.
She did not look at me, anxious.
Yes,
So we should
ma'am.
understand
Anxious,
this is
very.
their disorder, the psychiatric disorder, abnormal behavior.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's better to use another adjective. Who can help us?
Withdrawing.
Withdrawn. Jane was withdrawn. So, okay, so the next is for Sohita.
Yes, ma'am. Harry was dash. He couldn't sit still and kept twitching all the time. Harry was restless.
Exactly. Good. So Afnan. Is Afnan here?
Yes, ma'am.
So please read the next sentence.
Mary was dash. Mary was very dash. She was focused, but you could tell she was worried about something. Anxious, I think, ma'am.
Anxious, yes. Anxious. Good, thank you. The next is Khadija.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Pat is dash. She dresses in quite extravagant and formal clothes with bright colors. Pat is flamboyant.
Flamboyant, okay, good, thanks. Is Musharafuddin here? No. Well, Mayuka, please.
Yes, ma'am. Suzanne was very dash. She was very argumentative. I did not feel safe and sat with my seat near the door. Suzanne was very aggressive.
Exactly. Well, the next is for Rina. Is Rina here? No. And Bhargavi, please.
Yes, ma'am. He appeared dash throughout the interview, looking out of the window as if he was hearing voices. He appeared distracted.
Distracted by the voices. You see, here there are some abnormal behaviors are described here, and I would like you to think of. So if we move here, the adjectives are on their places. I would like you to think: are there descriptions here related to so disorders like mania, psychosis, depression, or anxiety? For example, if we speak about mania, there is a condition which is described in sentence 5 that Pat is flamboyant, dresses in extravagant formal clothes with bright colors. This is the typical behavior of mania disorder. What about the first situation here? So, John,
Depression, maybe.
sorry?
Depression, maybe.
Depression, exactly. So people are careless about their appearance. The same is true about Jane. So he was withdrawal, barely said a word. This is also the sign of depression. What about situation 3 and 4? So Harry was restless, Mary was anxious.
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
Yeah. And the situation number 6, user was very aggressive, and so another person was
Psychosis.
Mania, I guess.
no, we are speaking about
Psychosis.
psychotic
Psychosis.
yes, behavior. You're right. Psychosis. Well, and so these 4 disorders like mania, depression, psychosis, and just anxiety, they are affective disorders, so connected with emotions, but they can also have some organic causes. Yes, now we are going to work with the description of behavior of the patients. So we're going to listen to the doctor. Doctor is describing the 3 patients, and we should make notes about each patient using this table. So you can see here different factors we should describe. We should focus on appearance, eye contact, manner, mode of speech, inside doctor's feeling, and there are names of 3 patients. Well, please draw this table. We are 1 minute before the break, so please draw the table, and then when the session finishes, we'll take a 10-minute break. And then we'll start the next session with the listening.
Okay.